I wanted to show everybody my favorite bloom of all. These are giant lilies and they smell like heaven. Yeah, obviously, because the ants like them. Aw, get out of my lilies. I know they're creatures, they have their rights, but not on my lilies. I wait all summer long for these. All summer long for these. So they smell good. So when I get home, I'm probably going to cut them and put them in a vase. One of the reasons is they're heavy, and if it rains, they will end up getting knocked off. I have my balloon flowers are open, and of course I have them in the lighter color. That is the same thing, and it's just taking longer to grow, but it should produce one or two. It's a little smaller, the leaves there and stem are smaller, but as long as you have them so they're anchored against something, because they are top heavy, that's why I have them. These are done. I cut them down, but I use that for these. Finally got my trimming done, not my piles picked up. Now I have to weed. I have collected seeds. I'm about to go collect some more, but just a little short because I want to show everybody my favorite flower, one that I wait all summer for. So brightest blessings, have a great day, and I'm hoping to get Luna Circle set up so I can actually do a spell Moonlight out there, since I haven't done anything out there all summer. I've been mainly doing stuff at the Sacred Circle with the Earth Pentacle altar, but I would like to spend some time in the other spot. I just need to get everything set up. So there's been a lot going on here. I got behind with my flowers and I finally got caught up on them. I rearranged my bedroom. I'm not completely done with that. I got to put my altar and my bedroom back together and some other things. And I also started cleaning out my bathroom cupboards, getting rid of things that are expired, things that we don't always think about. I'm trying to make more room in the bathroom cupboards. And then I'll be going through my closet to give to Goodwill. I like to give stuff to Goodwill in the fall because people are looking for stuff for Christmas. Or maybe I'll do some things on eBay and make some money off of this stuff. I don't know. A lot of people are saying that Goodwill have jacked their prices and people are stealing that work there, and they don't donate the money back to the community. And there's been a lot of things too about the other one there. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I can sell stuff on eBay, and I can also sell stuff on Marketplace and just do it where it's home, so I don't have to mail anything because I'm not getting involved in shipping and going to the post office. I'd rather meet somebody at Dollar General and do the swap in a public place, so you don't have to worry about anything. And I always have my husband or my daughter with me, but that's neither here nor there. The world we live in, the world I am living in is completely alien to the world I grew up in, and it's just sad. And this crap about extra seasons, I really would like to know why they're terraforming our planet, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're terraforming our planet by spraying aluminum and stuff in our skies so we don't get the sun. We have more, today they look like real clouds, but most of the time they're hazy. I've watched planes. You can call me a conspiracy theorist if you want, but I have seen planes spray stuff. I'm close to an airport that recently reopened. It's just a small airport, but the point is they're doing stuff to our planet. They're hiding the skies. They're spraying stuff in the air. People are finding jelly stuff and all kinds of things falling from the sky. I don't believe NASA. I don't believe what they say about space. I do look up at the sky, and I think there's something very special above us. But I'm kind of starting to lean towards their realms, different realms. That the Earth is a layered place, and for some reason, I have a feeling that beings from another realm, thanks to CERN, they want to live here, but because we're in a different realm, they can't live here because they need this realm to be different, or people are going to say planet. I think it's a little more than that. I just think that there's some very evil people running our world right now. Very evil people and evil families controlling our world. And I think for their fame and their fortune, they're selling mankind out. Kind of. That's kind of what I think. But I also have to believe, just like in any story, good and evil, night and day, light and dark, that there's also warriors that are fighting for the common good. Because most of the people are asleep. They go about their day, they go to work, they get home, they eat, they watch a little TV, maybe catch a ball game, go to bed, get up, go to work, and that's their life. They don't think too much about anything outside the box. Wiccans, we tend to think outside the box and think about things. And believe me, I've seen some strange things in the skies and in my woods. So my mind is a little more open. Maybe not completely open, but it's definitely open. And I say blessings almost every day. I light a candle for the world every day because I don't want the seasons to change. I want my grandchildren to grow up in the same, like I grew up. I don't want all this hate. I don't want all this crap where men are going in the bathrooms because they think they're women, and I don't want all that. I just don't. I would like to see things go back to how things were when I was a kid. Things might have not been perfect then, but they were a lot better than they are now. And I blame a lot of the people that took over our country and have taken over the banking systems. I mean, things started really going to hell in 2008 when Obama became president. I don't care what anybody says. He was not for America. He was about as against America as you could be. And he was a plant. He went after the pain management people, saying that we were all this and we were all that. And a lot of it was doctors were selling prescriptions to people who didn't have insurance. They were writing prescriptions. I know of 2 pain management doctors in my own area that got arrested. One was writing a prescription to himself. It was a dead person. And the other one was literally selling at a pharmacy, in-house pharmacy. He was selling prescriptions to people who didn't have insurance. Now, yes, they had reasons. They had pain, but they didn't have insurance. Whether that was right or wrong, what he was doing is collecting. If you got a prescription from him and it didn't work, he wanted you to bring it back to him to dispose of, not to the hospital. And that's where he got the extra runoff to sell out the back door. Now, supposedly, he was only doing it for people that had no insurance, but who knows? The point was, they made us out to be the worst. I am a pain management patient. And then the people who are addicted get the red carpet. And I don't think that's fair. And I think it was done purposely because they knew if they made it harder with insurance and harder for doctors to prescribe opiates for people who really had pain, they'd stop. They'd close up shop. And then we would be forced to go to the street like most people did, and then they OD'd or they died or they were making a purchase and something happened and it was a shootout and they got shot. I mean, DEA agent on live TV actually said that buying heroin was cheaper than buying morphine off the street. So what message did that send? Obama did a lot of harm to his Obamacare was a disaster. And I don't really think Trump, I mean, there's something going on right now. There is a kratom, which is a natural, helps people get off of addiction. You can drink it or just take a spoonful of it. It doesn't taste very good. But apparently there's a pill form now that they're trying to say is more addictive than morphine and this and that. And the people that are taking it say they literally got off of opiates and got pain relief from this medication. And there's other people that are saying that they got off heroin and got off addicted drugs because they were taking them for the wrong reasons. Of course, now the government steps in because they found out, and because they're not regulating it, they're not making any money. Oh, now it's got to be a controlled substance. Anything that can help us that's natural, because kratom is natural, the government can't regulate. They can't, the pharmaceutical companies, I mean, morphine is pretty much the only thing. And a lot of doctors try to prescribe the synthetic opiates now. Your tramadol, your Eltram, your oxycodone. Oxycontin is pretty much out because of them lying and the horror that caused. The point is, people have real pain, and now doctors are too afraid to prescribe. And if you are prescribed a medication and you follow your prescription, you see your doctor, they do their testing. Doctors aren't dumb. They can tell who's taking medication for pain and who's taking medication for pleasure. And that's BS if they say any different. The government made it worse because they don't care if we kill ourselves. But instead of letting us have pain medicine to help us control our pain so we can have a better quality of life, they've made it almost impossible. But if you're an addict, you can get Suboxone. Okay, Suboxone sounds like it would help pain management and take care of the addiction problem that went with it. But lo and behold, they can't prescribe it for pain, only for addiction. See, that's what I mean. The government doesn't make any sense. And in my opinion, they don't have any business being in our medical. That's why there's malpractice, there's insurance, that's why doctors have to go to school as long as they do and get their licenses. I just think the whole thing is a farce. And then when I heard, that they're going to, because if it's going to be this kratom 401 whatever, then it's going to go right down the line and they're going to make all kratom. And this substance, I know people personally who have taken it, some that were in pain, and their pain management doctor either got fired or quit prescribing because the laws were just too much for him. And I also know people that were heroin addicts, got addicted to opiates too, that take kratom, and now they're living productive lives. And if they come after one form of kratom, it won't be long before they outlaw all of it. And then we have the reservation, but then they're going to have to be really careful because they're not governed by the laws of the federal government. But still, the government can make things tough and even on the Native Americans. The point is, the government isn't for the people. We, the people, form a more perfect union. I voted for Trump, and quite honestly, there's some things that he's done that I'm even questioning. I thought by now the prices of things would go down. And he's talking about this big, beautiful bill and his tariffs and how things are going down. But honestly, I went into Dollar Tree because I like to get decorations and stuff in there. They had decorations that were marked $5 or $1.25, and they put tickets over them and raised things by 50 cents, raised things by $1. So if anything, in a dollar store, things are going up. So I don't see, he's been in office now. It's time to see some turnaround, Mr. Trump. The average person can't afford to buy groceries and pay their utility bills. The average person can't afford to pay their mortgage. People can't afford to pay their rent. And how many people do we have literally living on the streets right now? I just think it's very sad that America has become a third world country, and it has. I'm sorry. You go through any major city and there's tent cities all over of people, or people living in their cars, young kids living in their cars that are working as doctors and nurses, but they're living in their cars. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump. You might think your big, beautiful bill did a whole lot of good, but honestly, the people who voted for you, the people that are paying the taxes, we don't see much change. If anything, we're seeing prices go up. We're also not seeing the FDA. I mean, somebody just showed a video on Arizona iced tea. If you drink it, please be careful. He poured it out and showed this cloudy stuff in it. I wouldn't drink that, and I used to. So did my children. It doesn't seem like when it comes to medication, certain medications are upheld because they just don't want us to have them. They don't want us to feel better. And then you've got all the crap with the antidepressants. And they don't even know the long-term effects of what antidepressants are going to be. And my God, they've got school-age kids on these things. I just, like I said, I don't recognize America. I don't recognize the world anymore. That's why I play in the woods. I plant my flowers. I do things, and I try to have good days. But you can't live with blinders on either. You have to see the world for what it really is. And it's just not right. It's not right. So whoever these warriors are that are supposed to be fighting for the good, I think you better fight a little harder. And the people that really know what's going on, the real whistleblowers, not the fake ones, not the ones that are hired to spread disinformation like all of them that did in the 60s and the 70s. You need to come forward. People have a right to know what they're doing to our world, why they're terraforming our planet or our realm or whatever, what the real reasons are behind all this goofy stuff that they're doing. Anyway, I didn't want this to become a rant about the things that are not right. I'm out at the Sacred Circle because it always pretty good for the weeding I did. Only a few leaves. The ferns are growing very good. I do have some trimming to do. I need to get my daughter out here to help me trim some of the smaller trees that need to go. I get them out. And I'm going to see about putting some bushes in here, I think. And I better get my butt working on that teepee down there, or my grandkids are not going to be happy with me if I don't get that teepee finished for them. It's not easy. This one is much bigger, and I'm actually using trees, small trees, not tree branches. So I'm going to go. Blessed be.